Miami-Dade police deploying military unit randomly across town. Jerry Ionelli, August 8, 2017, 8:30 a.m. In August 2016, a group of campaign finance reform advocates tried to stage a protest inside Miami-Dade County Hall. The protesters, many of whom were elderly, were peaceful. Yet the Miami-Dade Police Department sent an officer to patrol the crowd with a semi-automatic weapon, terrifying some protesters, who said they felt local cops were treating them like enemy combatants in a war zone. Turns out that was just the beginning. Now activists trying to protest at county buildings could run into a mine-resistant truck or a whole platoon of cops in full tactical armor. MDPD announced on Monday that it will begin randomly sending out its rapid deployment force to various county buildings, including Metromov stops. This is all happening as crime rates in Miami are reaching historically low levels, according to Florida Department of Law Enforcement data. In keeping with our ongoing Homeland Security initiatives, the Miami-Dade Police Department, MDPD, today begins to deploy its Rapid Deployment Force, RDF, as an enhanced security presence to deter threats to critical infrastructure sites and soft target locations throughout Miami-Dade County, such as government buildings and the Metro rail system, MDPD wrote in a press release yesterday. Miami Herald reporter Doug Hanks noted on Twitter that an armored, military-grade truck was sitting outside County Hall yesterday during the Special County Commission meeting on Venezuela. MDPD seems to understand how powerful an image these vehicles project. The cops repeatedly warn residents to not be alarmed and that there is no heightened state of emergency, tacitly winking at the fact that cops in military gear terrify people. If local police need to repeatedly tell people not to be scared by what they're doing, their actions deserve public scrutiny. There's been debate for decades over whether local police departments should have the same sort of gear as National Guard troops. MDPD's acquisitions over the last year are a perfect example. In the last 12 months, the department has asked for a whole host of new, military-style equipment upgrades, including millions in tactical gear, rifles, and ammunition. Local street cops can't wear that stuff on regular patrols, but now MDPD has devised a fun new way to make sure all that equipment gets used. MDPD, the nation's 8th largest police force, continues to acquire vast stores of equipment with few questions asked by elected leaders. The county commission, which is supposed to keep a check on these purchases, has largely neglected to do so. Earlier this summer, MDPD asked for federal funding for spy planes that would have recorded every single movement in the city's majority black neighborhoods. The cops applied for Department of Justice funding without consulting the commission, got County Mayor Carlos Gimenez to sign off on the plan, and then quietly asked the commission to retroactively approve everything. Once New Times broke news of the plan, members of the public and local civil rights organizations, including the American Civil Liberties Union, rightfully freaked out, and MDPD Director Juan Pura said the public pressure forced the department to kill the whole idea. That ordeal says everything about the way the department operates. It sucks up tens of millions of dollars in taxpayer money in order to buy gunshot detectors that probably don't work and untold caches of rifles, money that could easily be spent to help subsidize affordable housing in the city or help needy parents feed their children, initiatives that could actually help cut the crime rate. MDPD's Rapid Deployment Unit is a heavily armored, military-grade group that's supposed to respond to true disasters or terror attacks. But that's not how the police plan to use it, according to their latest press release. Instead, MDPD yesterday said the task force will be sent out to police terrorism and counter-terrorism response operations, weapons of mass destruction and chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear and explosives response operations, natural and man-made disasters, post-blast explosive ordnance disposal support, civil disturbances, protests, riots, and humanitarian aid. It's somewhat shocking that MDPD mentions protests, an act protected within the U.S. Bill of Rights, in the same breath as nuclear bomb attacks. Starting this week, if you take your child to a basketball game on the Metromov, you might have to walk past a checkpoint that wouldn't seem out of place in Raksa. Members of the community should not be alarmed and or assume that any credible threat to Miami-Dade has been received, MDPD wrote in its news release yesterday. These random deployments will be ongoing and complement our efforts to thwart those that may wish to do us harm by showcasing our readiness and ability to respond and protect our county. This, of course, is classic fear-mongering. MDPD hasn't said there's any actual, credible terror threat that justifies this, or explained why its current anti-terror policies are somehow not working. City of Miami Police recently used this exact tactic to justify outfitting 148 police cruisers with brand new semi-automatic rifles. Crime stats suggest this is the safest era Miami has seen since the 1960s, before the city's major cocaine era in the late 1970s began. But local cops haven't adjusted their actions accordingly. There are 35 police departments across Miami-Dade, and nearly all of them own military gear. It should, theoretically, get harder to justify parading around in trucks topped with gun turrets as the crime rate plummets. So far, the opposite has happened. Update 3:30 p.m., Miami-Dade Police Lieutenant Juan Villalba Jr. sent a New Times a statement about their rapid deployment unit, arguing that comparisons to the military are incorrect and disagreeing that the unit frightens residents. Among his comments: in regards to your statement that the MDPD's Rapid Deployment Unit is a heavily armored, military-grade group, please understand the following. The RDF uniform being worn during these deployments consists of our Class B uniform, the same uniform worn by our uniformed officers throughout Miami-Dade County on a daily basis, with the addition of a ballistic helmet, gas mask, and protective body armor worn on the exterior of the uniform. The weapons carried by officers on this deployment are standard issue MDPD firearms used by officers throughout Miami-Dade County. Your statement that our agency warns residents not to be alarmed, tacitly winking at the facts that cops in military gear terrify people, is misleading and not factual. As you know, we included verbiage in our statement that reminds our community not to be alarmed and or assume that a credible threat to Miami-Dade has been received. Our intention in this reminder is simple. We do not want Miami-Dade residents and or visitors to assume that this deployment came about as a result of any imminent and or credible terror-related threat. Moreover, your statement that starting this week, if you take your child to a basketball game on the Metromavr, you might have to walk past a checkpoint that wouldn't seem out of place in Raxa, entirely lack factual basis. The MDPD is not conducting any such checkpoints as part of this deployment, and no such language was included in our advisory. If you were unclear as to what the deployment entailed, our public information officers are always available to answer questions for you. Jerry Ionelli is Miami New Times daily news reporter. He graduated with honors from Temple University. He then earned his master's degree in journalism from Columbia University. He moved to South Florida in 2015. Contact, Jerry Ionelli. Follow, Twitter at Jerry Ionelli.
Hey, Sheriff, we have a question about why your office, your intelligence division, is investigating private citizens for criminal investigation that happen to be activists that are overseeing your department? Why would you have your intelligence division investigate private citizens? We have done...
For life hating so much.
Sir, we don't hate anyone. We love freedom and we love American people. And government is out of control. That's why you're seeing such a revolt nationwide. Why can't you just answer, why is Susan Edwards, your intelligence division, investigating private citizens? This should not happen.
Are you here to apply for a job?
Possibly I might be applying for a job, but that's irrelevant to my question. Why would you ask that question?
Well, enjoy the fair.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Excuse you?
Excuse me, sir.
So those of you that haven't
Wow.
been on a bike before,
Sheriff's getting a little too pushy. You work for us, Sheriff. Just keep that in mind. At one time we respected you, but not with that type of attitude.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County COPWATCH, and I found that I had to make a change this ending on my videos, letting you know about the channel and fair use laws, you know, how we can report on other people's reporting and how it's good, how it's bad, etc. But you guys can look it up yourself. It is legal. It's in there. But like I've told you before, that I've been cut off from making money on YouTube for 4 years. It's really weird, bizarre, but they cut the money off, but they said you can keep the channel, and now YouTube makes all the money. And if you get bored, plug it into Social Blade website, and you'll see that they are making a huge amount off the site. Right now it's at 63 million views, 53,000 subscribers, almost 3 million views a month. You know, trying to wake people up, and I make nothing. In fact, I got a customer that's ex-congressman. He said if I could ever find a lawyer, sue YouTube on it. But because this is nuts. 4 hours a day, and to save America. You know, but at the same time, it's worth it. Look at what our founding fathers did. They died for this country. So, but getting back to the money part, this is why I'm redoing the video. Is my dream of everyone giving $1, and it's going to be $53,000 a year, or if they did Patreon which you know, can be monthly. That is not working. That'd be great if it did. Nothing is perfect. And I appreciate the people that do donate, you know, what they can on PayPal. And there again, I'm letting you guys know that is not much. Is, you know, monthly is, oh my god. So anyways, yes, you cannot live on it. It's very, very, very low amount. But the dollar things, I do appreciate that. But when I first said everybody give $1, that's not working. I'm just I'm just letting you guys know it's, yeah, that dream. Everybody gives $1. 53,000 subscribers. It's not working. So yes, if you can give more than that, you know, I appreciate it. Like I said, you know, I'm in a unique situation where, you know, we're already debt free, and I'm not rich, but with the little business that we have, I am able to do what I am able to do 45 hours a day, you know, letting you guys know what's going on. In 4 years, I've did the whole thing myself. 12,000 videos on there. I literally get emails where people are like, holy crap, I never knew it was this bad. And it is this bad, and it's getting worse every day because we have the internet, we have cell phones, we have cameras everywhere now, and it's just disgusting what's going on. And then, as you guys know too, now we got Trump, we got Jeff Sessions doing a war on drugs, and now he wants to go after the forfeiture laws again. It's just unfreaking real. So if you can give more than that dream of everybody giving $1, yeah, that old video, that's not working. They're not. They're just not. So anyways, if you can give more than that dream is not working. Hardly anybody is giving. There you go. So that's why I'm remaking the video. If you can give more than that would be great. And there again, like I said, the Patreon's there. There is some people on there that are starting to give, but there again, it's very, very low. And like I said, I don't want to get rich off of that. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing because, you know, it's still so stinking corrupt. It's not even funny. My court case that I'm going to be paying out of my pocket myself with Charlotte County's coming up. They illegally looked me up and then posted all my information on LEOAFFAIRS website. They basically doxed me, however you want to say that. I forget what the word is, and they outed me, man. And that information on that site went out to 500 sheriffs, deputies, people that work at the jail, etc., etc., etc. So yeah, it is very, very scary, but we're going to do a federal case, 1983 case, violating freedom of speech. We have 17 cameras in the house now. We got 2 cameras in the car. I always carry a camera plus a cell phone. A lot of people are highly recommending I get a vest now. If I could, if the wife would let me, I would run for sheriff. We are trying to push the thing nationwide right now. Where just to mix it up and to get the topics out there is register to run for sheriff, NPA, no party affiliation, as a write-in, and that is completely free, and you can participate in the elections. And there's a lot of stuff. We got a guy, James McLinnis in Pinellas County, Tampa, who almost won. He experienced the corruption himself. The story is unbelievable. Look him up. It's mind-blowing what they did. It pissed him off. He is very, very smart. He has way more money than I did. He ran for sheriff at the last 3 months last year in 2016 and almost won. He got all of the black vote. And the reason why he did that is because he ran on, I will not bust, we're in Florida, I will not bust anybody for weed anymore unless it's an ungodly huge amount, like pounds. And then he also ran on no more victimless crimes, no more of this freaking road pirate bull crap. And then he was going to cut the budget by 30%. And when you think about that, you can. If you stop the road pirates, you can get rid of a bunch of people. Gone. So, the wife has been saying, yes, I can, yes, I can't. So I don't know. We're trying to find somebody that can do it because I am busy doing this anyways. But, so I'm making a video, like I said, that $1 a month from everybody, you know, for 53,000 subscribers, that is not working. I'm just letting you guys know. Absolutely give way more than $1 a month. If you can, I appreciate anything. By the way, remember too, when you give that, PayPal takes like freaking 15 to 20%, so it's even worse than that. But And there again, like I'm letting you guys know, it's way, what I get is very, very low. Appreciate it, but it is very, very low. Can't live on it. I'm just, you know, I'm working, and that's what I'm working on. And that court case is going to cost a buttload of money. That's federal court. Just the filing fees and the depositions that we're going to be doing with this corrupt cop. So there's another reason to give. We are going to be doing a deposition with this very corrupt. He was in a drug squad. He is a bad guy. He's on steroids. We heard steroids are rampant here. That's why their attitude is so bad. And we are going to get him on video, and it will be on YouTube. So that case alone is $5,000 just to bring it to court, and that's my money out of my pocket. So there's another reason to give, and give way more than $1 if you can. So keep that in mind. This is the new video, and I see, God, I talk a lot. It's already 7 minutes, but had to make it just to let you know the $1 a month from everybody is not working. They're not doing it. So if you can give more than that, please. So thanks. Keep it up. Share, like, subscribe, tell your friends, send me your videos on corruption, and I'll post it.